Across the country tonight for the one international visit for the iRacing IndyCar Series that they have each and every season. And tonight, a familiar track that has been on the schedule before, and we're back on it again tonight, and that is Monza. Of course, famous for its oval. That, well, it's still on iRacing and stuff, but probably for the safety of everybody else in the world, it's not raced anymore. But needless to say, we're here tonight to race on this 3.5-mile road course here in Italy for tonight's Apex Sage Coaching Grand Prix of Italy. I am the captain, Chris Scala. Welcome in tonight. And as always, my pleasure to be joined by Gary Godso. And Gary, tonight, Monza, a very fun track, a lot of straightaways, a lot of drafting, a lot of push to pass probably going to be used here tonight, but a lot of chicanes also on this very, very tricky but fun track.
The draft is going to definitely play a big role here. Not only the pass, also it's going to play a big role in fuel mileage. Anywhere from 14 to 16 laps on a fuel run here, depending on how well you save. So the window for the fuel run is going to start opening at 14, but people that think they can do it on 16 laps, the fuel window will actually open at about lap 8.
Now, this is a track obviously known for champions to win at, of course. Michael Schumacher, to say the least. Obviously, Lewis Hamilton, those kind of drivers, they've gone out here and they've won this Italian Grand Prix. So tonight, what does it take to go out here and win a race at a track like this?
Don't lose sight of Isaac Morris.
That's a good start.
So far, no one's been able to put up much of a fight other than Dan Mack and maybe some other guys. Philip Lee's recently put up a couple good races here recently. But in terms of taking that checkered flag, it's really just Isaac and Dan Mack. So who can stand in the way? That's how it's going to be how to win here. Is you got to stay within sight of Isaac, and if you don't beat him on the track, you got to beat him in the pit somehow.
Again, for those listening, we're trying to get Gary's mic going louder, but we're here on the track tonight and got a lot of great racing here shaping up for us. And, obviously a lot of viewers tonight, hopefully, and we'll be voting for, again, the Sean Stevens Award throughout the season. As Chris Lewis is keeping keeping track, I should say, in chat. If you would like to vote for the Sean Stevens Award, all you got to do is go put the name of the driver you're cheering on, and, well, bada bing, there's a vote for that person. So if you want to vote for somebody like myself, feel free to do so. If you want to vote for somebody like Gary, what are you thinking?
No.
So we go from there. But, Gary, let's take a look at these point standings as we enter what is round number 7. We have 2 road courses left on the schedule here in Laguna Seca. And the driver points look like this. Isaac Morris is pretty much gone and on his way to his first championship. Philip Lee running P2 by 13 over Daniel McDonald. Jessica Saban, Carlos Dotero, Cohen Evans, who I don't think is here tonight. Lester Fontaine, Stravano, and Vilda Whalen, your top 10.
Yeah, like I said, it's Isaac is just kind of running away with it. So really, it's going to be a race for who's second. Second is kind of going to be best in class. And with Cohen not being part of the race because of other commitments stateside, that's going to give some other people a chance to kind of move up in the standings. So key tonight is just finishing the race. I think if you just finish the race, you should do well. These races always tend to have a high amount of attrition, mainly due to human error. If you just get to the finish, you'll probably find yourself to have a good points paying day.
So that is the point standings right now for the drivers, and then for the teams, as I clicked on the schedule accidentally, if I could get the old clicker to work on my finger. iRacing running away with this one, 504 points. GTSRL right now second. Dict Racing third. Kamagoye and Extreme, pretty much the 5 teams battling out for that second and third position right now. It looks like as of right now, as they pulled away from these other teams. But Gary, we got a interview that we're going to bring up here, and I think this is a very interesting interview. First off, he has no clue we're about to talk to him. But second off, he's got a surprise coming here as I pop him up into his channel, because he has no clue I'm about to talk to him. Number one, and two, there's a chance he's probably out there trying to qualify right now. But AJ Stravado, you got a copy?
Yeah, man, I'm not qualifying. How are you, man?
Oh, you're not? I'm doing good, man. Well, I wanted to get your opinion about something. We haven't really talked much this season, and everybody knows it's well known you're an oval guy. Okay, you're like me. We both grew up on the stock cars, on the ovals, and all that sort of thing. This season, you've spent a majority on the road courses, and you've not slouched. You've done a pretty good job throughout the season. Talk about your experience of being on the road and what you've learned so far this season.
Yeah, this has been a definitely fun challenge for sure. I gotta say, not really much of a road guy. Done some kart racing in the past, so my job has just been to learn as much as I can. So when I do get back in the seat in real life, doing road tax or kart, whatever I'm doing, I can be as rust-free as possible. So this opportunity got presented to me by Chris and a couple guys. They approached me and asked me to run, and it's been a lot of fun. Definitely been a little bit of a challenge. I'm not used to being this, I guess, off. I'm used to kind of doing my thing on the oval and winning, but this is a lot of fun. I'm glad I'm here and part of a pretty fun league with quite a stout group of drivers, I must say.
Well, you've definitely done a good job for the majority of the season here, and are you looking forward, I guess kind of a side note here, are you looking forward to the 600 this weekend running on NIS?
Yeah, I think I'm going to try that Sunday night. I'm definitely looking forward to that. The A car is what it is with the dirty air and kind of slot car racing, I feel like, after 10 laps, but I think we're pretty decent there. So as long as we can qualify well there, it'll be interesting. But I know I have like 100 iRating, so my stuff is going to be probably in top split, and those guys don't play any games. So I definitely have to practice a little bit before I go in there, get some long runs in, see where the grooves are and how to save tires. So that'll be fun in itself, but definitely looking forward to this race today too. Awesome. Well, hey, we appreciate your time. We'll let you go get ready. Got about 2 minutes before the race begins, and good luck tonight, AJ. Thank you. Hopefully turn one's not too bad to us. We'll have a good one then. Just go straight. You're fine. If you go straight, the chances are less that you get hit going into the corner. It's a plan, brother. Have a good one. You too, bud. I mean, I'm not lying, am I, Gary? I mean, that's you got a better chance. Just go straight.
When in doubt, just drive through the straight, the first chicane, take the penalty, and not end up taking damage at all. But yeah, you know, he won't be the first AJ that's ever raced here. That's for sure. AJ Foyt actually did race here back in the 50s when they had the race between two worlds, and that's when the USAC cars and the Formula One cars actually would go head to head, and they would actually use the oval back in the 50s. But I believe AJ Foyt is one of the few surviving members of that first race, and he was very early in his career, in I think 1958. Now, was that the race where all those like tripoded looking robots came in and was trying to kill Tom Cruise? Oh, that wasn't that race. No. That H.G. Wells' battle, War of the Worlds. Now, in all seriousness, though, this track, you see the oval actually was there in that little shot there. Here's part of it right here. As you go through this chicane, that big high banked corner,
that thankfully, for the sake of humanity, is not raced anymore. That might be a little dangerous for this world. But either way, I think we're going to see a great race tonight. And AJ kind of mentioned it when you look at it, Gary. The first corner, three of the first four corners on this track are chicanes. A majority of this track is chicanes.
Yeah, and they were put there basically for the newer Formula One cars, starting about the 70s or so, to slow the darn things down, because they were pretty much flat out around the entire way, with the exception of about corner 7, where it's not quite a 90 degree, but it's pretty close to it. But very, very interesting that the first chicane in Italian translates to variant of the straight. I mean, they don't get too fancy, the names on a lot of these chicanes here, but you'll hear us talk about the Grand Curve, the Lesmo Curves, and the Parabolica, and Ascari. There's another place that we'll talk about, and these are big name, long time, built into F1 lore, very famous curves, and we'll be talking about them here tonight as the cars go through them, and we'll talk if there's any trouble. You hear us say about trouble in Ascari. We'll go right to there, that we're talking about. So we won't go by numbers a lot, but we'll definitely go by names, and that's more of a traditional European thing.
You might hear me say numbers, because the only two I know, and I'll get them wrong, is Ascari and the Parabolica. But I do know the Parabolica obviously being the last corner on the track, and I've talked to a couple drivers who said, and I quote, that corner's a real neck stretcher. Because obviously the G-forces of going around that curve, and you're only braking for like the first portion of it, and then you're on the gas as you're turning through a flat corner. So I mean, the corner is going to want to pull you to the left.
Yeah, until Formula One went to Indianapolis, where they raced on the current course that is in iRacing now. That was the longest uninterrupted portion of a track that the car was constantly at 100% throttle. With Indianapolis no longer on the schedule, Monza now holds that record of being the longest continuous 100% throttle straight in Formula One racing.
So we're just letting qualifying wrap up here. A couple cars yet to finish their last qualifying lap, and it looks like Isaac Morris will be the pole sitter, a 131.4. So a pretty good lap for him as he'll start on the pole, it looks like here this evening for this race. And I bring up the race info here on the screen again, Gary, and just looking at the track map basically. As you see, it's 77 degrees, 109 down on the track itself. But obviously the start-finish line is a little white stripe, or red stripe. You go down, turn 1, obviously chicane right there. Then you go around a long, almost 90-degree corner, up to another left-right chicane. Then you get two 90-degree corners, which, by the way, this track is not very forgiving when it comes to incidents on iRacing. You get incident points for each situation. If you go off track, you get penalized for it with an incident point, they call it. If you touch any of the green that you see on the map over here, like if you look over here, you see, help me, this ain't Ascari, this is Parabolica. There, if you see that green in the outside of the track, that basically is a 1X, they call it in iRacing. So you got to be very, very careful here tonight. It's a fun, a lot of straightaways on this track, but it will reach out and grab you really, really quickly if you do not pay attention to it. Here's your starting lineup for the Grand Prix of Italy, presented by Apex Sage Coaching. The coach himself, Isaac Morris, on the pole. He'll start alongside his teammate Daniel McDonald. Lester will start there in row number 2 alongside Philip Lee. And row number 3, Carlos Dotero. He's definitely showed some speed this evening. He'll start alongside Jessica Sabin, who right now leads the old Sean Stevens Award. Ito Vila and AJ Stravato starting there in row number 4. Row 5, Luke Daniels and Sam Blackwood. Dan Barrera, Steve the Big Grabowski will start there in the 6th row. In row number 7, if I get the buttons to cooperate with me here, you see Nick Fleury and Jim Herrick. Good to see him here tonight. Tim Miller, Sam Fontaine will start in 15th and 16th. Row number 9, Danny Brennan, Austin Saar. Row 10, Isaac Lopez and Andres Perez. Row 11, Matt Telder and David Whimsey. And finally, Jeff Destino will be the 23rd and final starters. You see they're already set up down here, ready to go green. They're just going to go down here through the final chicane and then head over to the Parabolica, and we'll get the green flag here. So a very, very short pace lap here. But 56 laps, Gary, you started to mention it just a little bit ago. With the way this track is set up, it's easily a 14 lap, 3 stops, go to the finish type of thing.
Yeah, if you want to do everything, split it in the thirds, 14, 14, 14. I'm hearing not just from my team, but from other teams that some can go up to 16 laps. And what they're talking there is a 16, 16. You're going to come up 8 short. And I'm hearing reds do not last very long here. That's the alternate red rimmed or the red sidewall tires. So what I'm hearing is that maybe some teams, if they do go the 16 lap strategy, we're going to ride the primes as long as they can go on 16 laps, change them, come in, do primes again, come in again on that last 8 lap stint, be rocking the reds and seeing how many positions they can make up there at the end.
It's interesting you say that because I've heard quite the opposite from some drivers, that the alternates are the way to go. So I've talked to some drivers that said that they're going to go, probably their shortest stint will be on the primary tires.
Looks like we got a
Luke Daniels.
down, the straight here. Looks like we have that's going to be an EOL penalty from Indianapolis.
Oh, okay, yep. That's a penalty that he got for the wreck that happened late in the race there. As he came off pit road, a couple of cars checked up on a restart, and he had a little too much momentum, we'll call it, into the corner, and yeah. Anyways, ran him over. We'll just put it like it is. So, all right, here we go through the parabolica. We'll get the green flag here for 56 laps, and we'll see if we survive the first chicane. Thanks to our good friends at Track Cams 4 Gourmet for allowing us to have the cameras tonight here at Monza. You can check out trackcams22.com for all the details. Isaac Morris, Daniel McDonald, all part of TI Racing, going to lead them to the green flag at Monza. International style racing tonight.
Not a good start for Dan Mack.
Oh boy.
Him and Lester.
3 wide.
Now
3 wide. Got to get on the single. There's some lockup. So far, so good. Oh, there goes a fender. Austin Saar lost his left front, it looks like, on something. He got fenders all over the place.
Lester's going to make a pass here in the second chicane. He has pulled it off, and now they're going into the Lesmos and see if Isaac can get that back. These two slowest people rocking it down the stretch there going into Ascari.
Lester's gone to the lead. We got trouble as Fontaine had to move around an incident between, looks like Lopez and, one car hopping, doing a little ramping style over there in the second chicane. I think that might have been Whimsy or Destino or something, but a little bit of trouble there going on. But still, Lester up to the lead. As you said, he's already got a 4/10 of a second lead. The votes are starting to fly in already as Lester starts to pull away.
Yeah, Lester's already used one push to pass already. You can use push to pass at any time, 3 different places.
At least 3 different places. I mean, you could see almost every straightaway. I mean, I can only think of one little stretch of the track where maybe you won't use it, and that would be up there at the top where you get the 2 90-degree right-handers. As Lester's going to lead lap 1 from Isaac Morris. Daniel McDonald back up to 3rd. Carlos Dotero 4. Jessica Sabin P5. And we got cars coming to pit road. Austin Saar, he is in. And I think he's going to get that wing changed on the front of his number 20. And Teller on pit road. And Marrera on pit road.
Miller there, 12th spot.
Funny single files, they worked their way into the second set of chicanes here.
This is called the Varianti. Well, basically, translated the variant, but
Right.
now.
There's AJ Stravato, who we talked to pre-race. Looks like Jim Herrick. And he has gotten back on. It looks like him at very cool LMC gear, number 40 car. Already Lester working on those push to passes, trying to stretch away from Isaac. Now Isaac probably just pacing himself right now. Isaac is actually, and it sounds like, just reading, it looks like Marrera got into an incident with Fontaine, it looks like. or something. That's according to
5-8 lap. He pushed the passes already. He's trying to put some distance. I think not a single one.
Fontaine, the third out of 4 of the XSR cars to be on pit road in the first 2 laps of this race with damage. So not a good start for those guys. As you said, Lester 132.4 has gone with the purple lap so far. Isaac Morris about 1.5 back. Now Isaac is on the prime tires tonight. The only 2 right now in the top 7 that are on the alternate red tires is Dotero and Lester, first and third respectively. Back here you got AJ Stravato, as I mentioned, David Grabowski, Nick Fleury. Right here, this is 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th position.
Starting to back up behind him. And actually, Dan Max lining them up into the parabolic and he's going to be able to go off the pass.
As Lester brings them off the final corner here, going to lead at lap number 4. And we'll have to see how long they last with these tires. As Philip Lee starting to put some pressure up here on Jessica Saban, the second place guy in points.
Lester got some lap.
Yeah, it looks like I think Fontaine just came off pit road after getting damage fixed on that 22 car.
That actually might work out for Lester. And just a couple laps of getting the draft off of Fontaine there. That stretches the run. Racing more.
Issues for Grabowski over here in, what corner is this? The second chicane. He's gone around, left side of the track, gets it back going in a safe position, and rolls. And we continue on. As looking at the battle back here with Daniels and Herrick. Yep.
Chip Herrick all pass around Luke Daniels. He was doing it on the
Not an easy move to make, especially when the off-track limits are very, very crucial. And looks like Daniels under attack for the 10 of Isaac Lopez. Not able to make that move there as they work their way through the final chicane down towards the Parabolica. 17 viewers and counting, seeing a lot of votes coming in for drivers.
car stacked up behind Dotero. They get around him. He's probably going around. And he's low line support. Kind of cut off where Dan Mack wanted to go.
Well, let's see if he makes a move right here. If Mack makes the move into the corner, he does not. So Dotero running very defensive, as you mentioned. Gets a little wide there. Got to be careful again with the off-track limits here. We're 5 laps into this race. Mentioned Philip Lee out here putting pressure on Jessica Saban here in the 5th position. We ride with Lee. No push to pass being used right now. Jessica sends it in there pretty deep. Good defensive move. She sends it in there deep again. She's protected. Oh, a little lock up there in front with Dotero. Got to be very careful because you want to make a move, but you got the cars in front of you. You don't want to make a move that puts them in jeopardy.
Yeah, you don't want to start supporting piling the next guy piles. And everyone's going to have it. I will say the rotations between Dan Mack, Jessica, and Philip are pretty good because they have not looked back in the past much. There's probably some other drivers in this thing just mashing that button trying to get racing around these guys.
So we got this.
Oh, here it goes, Dan Mack on the outside.
Down and under, and Dan's going to take the position. Saban's going to try to draft with her.
Follow through, and then figured Otero was probably holding level the whole way.
And back up here at the front, it is starting to get close at the lead as Isaac Morris is coming up in the back bumper of Lester. Down to about 0.6 of a second or so. As Jim Herrick has had an off at apparently has had an off. And look at Lester going to the bottom here, protecting every part of the track.
He's using those reds, and he wants to try to get as big as lead as possible. And Isaac using the primes, and he's running. Not lasting. Said it is. Don't like he has about 8 laps. That's what I was told. And we are about lap 7, so not surprised.
Yeah, and that's going to open up the window, I think, here any minute to start the strategy of fuel and stuff. If people want to go off strategy and stuff, I've been told that if you get to about lap 10, you can kind of go off, even though the common sense would be, go 14 and just do 3 stops.
And it all depends on what's in front of you. If you got a bunch of traffic in front of you, maybe avoid it, get in there, hit the spot, or hit your hits, get out, maybe pick up a couple spots that way in cycling the jobs. It's not cycling, if I can get words out of my mouth.
It happens.
That's one way to do it, or just you got slower cars in front of you, and instead of just fighting through them, just go ahead and fit, and then they'll probably fit a little bit later when it's like behind you. It's just all the
Philip Lee getting past Dotero for the 5th position, so Dotero's starting to fall off a little bit. Here comes Sam Blackwood in the Chevrolet accessories car to the right. As he come down to the parabolic and see if Dotero gives it to him, he does.
Yeah, as I figured, he was kind of holding on.
Getting up this very...
Now, 8 laps.
Right, 6.
Make this first stop after that, and then after this, make the 16 lap run, then you can make it to the end. This is where the window begins up.
Right, and that's where you go into fuel save at this point. Now, believe it or not, true fact, I have actually run a Cup Series race at this track on iRacing. Take out the first one. They actually did not have the first one. So we were near 200 mile an hour as we headed to what would be turn 1, which was that right-hander right there. The sweeping right-hander was turn 1. Andres Perez has had an off, it looks like, and he's got a very damaged rear wing and a left rear tire broken. I think he's going to get the old too much damage, we're done. Unfortunately for him in the 5 car. Let's see what happened to Andres.
If he hasn't used his fast repair.
That's a good point. I keep forgetting about the old fast repair. Thank you. Andres was leading the 69 of Grabowski, and here comes the 10 to the inside. Oh, and Grabowski just runs him over.
These cars are only about 10 seconds off the track record. The track record actually has been there for a while. It was set back in 2004 by Peter Kellett and Ferrari. Because of the rule changes in Formula 1 stuff.
Right.
That's been a stand for quite a while. But, for our virtual purposes, 10 seconds or so off the Formula 1 pace, that's not too bad.
No, that sounds about right, because, I mean, when you go back to Circuit of the Americas, when we ran here a couple of seasons, or when you watched in real life, they were about 10 seconds off of the pace of the Indy cars around COTA. So that seems like it makes some sense, but not to throw a joke into this, but I think I have no choice right here. You know what Andre Perez said to Grabowski when he hit him, right? Yeah, dude.
said a little
Something in another language.
what,
Yeah, that guy. He
wanna know
should have
what
been
language-
driving there.
if you want to know what language it is, go watch Narcos.
So there's the 42 of Tim Miller and Danny Brennan battling each other. The lead up front for Leicester still at 4/10 over Isaac, so Isaac not really been able to make that move.
Well, while we're talking about that was Bob Beat, 176.0 miles per hour on that and that was pretty smoking back then.
Yeah, I was going to say, in those years, wow. 177.
I can only imagine what a modern Indy car would be.
Thankfully, the mechanic wasn't still sitting in the back seat. He would have probably aborted and said, I'm out. Lester's having some blinking issues here in front of Isaac. Isaac's thinking Christmas times here.
That's got to be completely just throwing off if that happens.
McDonald about 3 seconds back from this battle, and then you got another second back to Saban, and then about 2/10 as she still tries to hold off Philip Lee back here. As a matter of fact, Lee with a real good run up the straightaway here. Oh, Lee had to take the corner wide, almost ran her over. And that's going to give a run to the 74. Here comes Blackwood to the inside. Ooh, power move. Wow. That corner right there can be misleading. You feel like you got to... Oh! Watch out for the DRS sign. Now that truly, for you NASCAR fans, it's a pass in the grass. I say that for the sake of Dale Earnhardt's move in '87 was not a pass in the grass. And ask Chase Elliott, Bill Elliott's son, will tell you the same thing.
Indy cars do not like to go in the grass. They do. It doesn't there's only one time I can remember a car tipping its wheels onto the grass and not just into the wall in Indianapolis. What happened was the car line goes down. Back on. Yeah, Indy cars
Yep, and he should take the position here. No DRS. Here we go. No push to pass being used. If so, Kurz would have been used. But no. Going back to the grass usage, I'm pretty sure 99.9% of cars that run on the track don't like the grass. I'm breaking news for you right there.
have their arrows I would think a truck, I would think a car, the next car probably would be a little bit better on the grass than the car.
Yeah, you would think. The only horse.
They're really going at it. He came out of the left. Hard on the gas in front of me. Blackwood was coming in before the race. He's like, man, I don't want to run this race. I don't want to do a good job. Basically, the teammates just talked him up and said, man, just get in there and finish the race. Fight it out so far. It's early still, but he's up in 6.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and throw this out here. I usually don't say anything about my team in the middle of a broadcast unless we talk about it because, again, I try to be unbiased on the air, even though Chris Lewis pushes me to be biased. So here's your one moment, Chris Lewis. I'm going to be biased. My team's running 17th, 18th, 20th, and 22nd right now, and I think they're all off the track. Anyways. No team orders in my team. Are you kidding me? No, actually, there are a couple on the track still. I'm looking at them right now. But, yeah, they're not running too well right now. Anyways, back to what we were talking about. There's my 5 seconds of being biased.
Arrow is back to 8th place.
Yeah, those he must not be. He must be. He's either struggling or he's saving the tires. One of the two is going on. And Nick Fleury is he's running the chicane next to the chicane over here in the first one. He went around the barrels in the first chicane, which I don't know why I would have just driven through them. But anyways. And Lester is still playing mind games. He's playing Undertaker games here with Isaac Morse.
Yeah, he's driving right now.
Not just yours.
All right, so Fleury actually, I'm watching the battle between Fleury and Lopez.
Lopez
He
now,
has
yep.
that position back on Lopez.
Ah. Isaac underneath for the lead. Here comes Isaac. I think Lester's going to give it to him here. As the blinking, I think, has finally gotten in the way, and Lester just pulls over. Now, that's not to discredit the pass. Isaac obviously has been faster the last few laps, so Isaac to the lead. And Daniel McDonald has come from behind. He's all of a sudden only a second off these two. So I don't know, maybe if Isaac was saving the tires a little bit, allowing Daniel to come up here, and it's like, all right, time to put her in gear.
Hey, I got to be honest with you.
I'm sure that didn't help things.
Yeah, I imagine that you're going to watch Isaac pull in.
Jessica Saban only 4 seconds back, and then Philip Lee is, you mentioned about 5 seconds back into 5th position. As we come up on lap 14, I think we're at that point in the race where you're going to see probably everybody on the lead lap just come to pit road at once. But this is that marker right here in the race. We've only seen a couple cars come to pit road, and every single one of them have been cars that have been damaged because of an accident or something.
And no one's gone early.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Isaac go long here. I mean, he's got these prime tires. He's still running laps into 34s.
And Max side
As
by
Matt-
side going into the parabolic.
I think Lester gave it to him, yep. I would not be surprised. Actually, he did not give it to him. Wow! Lester kept it. And all three of them stay out here. 4th place staying out. 5th place staying out.
He's got the draft. He's got the draft, though. He's going to pass the long way. He can pull it off. Man, the battle of the blinkers, both
Yeah,
Dan
right?
and Lester are blinking.
I think Daniel maybe is telling him, hey, I'm passing on the left turn. His left turn signal on. So David Wimsey, the only person on that lap to come to pit road from what I'm seeing. So surprisingly, everybody's going another lap here. So Philip Lee still not being able to get by Jessica Saban. So what has been a fun race. I see Dylan Glass over here watching tonight. Good man there. A soldier fighting for this country right now. So thank you, Dylan, for taking time to watch us tonight. Neil Say watching. Nick Leo's watching. Vote for Chris Lewis. Nick, who paid you off for that one? Martin Gonzalez watching. Joshua Morris. No. Nick, you're too far back. You're not winning a second straight championship, sir. Sorry. And I know a broadcaster, by the way, who kind of stirred some things up in that chat last night. As here comes Philip to the inside, down to the Parabolica for the 4th position here, and he's going to take it from her.
Oh, we got a car zipping off into the pit.
That's Lester.
Yep. That was right at the start, across the line at lap 4.
Ido Vila coming in. Dotero's coming in. Dotero's like, get me off these pieces of garbage.
Yeah, we got Lester, Vila, Totero.
Who else? Danny Brennan's coming in. You see them all right there on pit road. Very awkward spot to have a Porsche safety car sitting. Lester, a 10.6 second stop. Kind of a slow stop there.
Fleury in. I believe Jim Herrick's going to come in. Lopez is in.
So Lester Lee.
Staying out, so he's going to move up ahead of these guys here.
So these guys here are just going to run the basic 14 laps and go to the finish. It looks like 14, 28, 42. Hut, 56. Or as we learned last season, who knows what all that he said. But, oh, by the way, Daniel McDonald has the fishing pole out, and he's reeling in Isaac Morse. It is down to 4/10, down to 3/10. And we got a damaged car off the track here, stage left. That's I think that was the 5 of Perez. As here comes Daniel to pit road here.
Oh, and they are stuck behind that damaged car. Here, Blackwood also almost got to the back end of Stevens. So they picked a bad time to have a damaged car right in front of them.
Do you think they're saying? Do you think they're saying to the? Do you think they're all saying to the lap car, "Hey, get your nose out of our business"? He had a damaged nose.
Or some choice Italian.
Hey, right here's.
What's that thing when they go under the chin?
Oh, they. Hey, in Italy, they're gonna be like, dude, you're gonna be sleeping with the fishies tonight. You have a horse in the freaking bed of yours. So look out, boys. It's all fun and games. You have a horsey in your bed. As they all come off pit road in line, McDonald going to come out right in front of Fontaine. You know, I'm going to kind of be a PSA here for a second. I know we're all voting for drivers tonight and things to be the Sean Stevens Award, but you know what? Since he's here tonight, I'm going to make the call for a one night only. I think every single one of us should vote for Dylan Glass. Because this man is fighting for our country, and he's on base right now watching us stream. How cool is that? I mean, I'm calling it now. Put it out there. Dylan Glass, Sean Stevens Award tonight, winner tonight. Come on. As Isaac's on pit road. The leader is in.
Just out of the scarring. He's down. He hasn't used a single push to pass. You think he wanted to use a push to pass now to kind of make up the ground. He's in the parabolic.
Isaac just now launching.
I think Isaac's moving.
Here comes Daniel. You can see it up the straightaway here. Nope, he's going to get him, but he's got the warmer tires here. That's going to play a role.
Yeah, he's going to eat up some ground here. I don't think he's going to be able to pull off the pass.
And both on the prime tires again for this stint. The only guys on the alternate reds right now, Philip Lee at 4th, Ido Vila 7th, and then all the way down to 15th is your next car on the alternate. So everybody here on the prime tires right now. So this kind of leads back to what you talked about, Gary, about most of these guys staying on the prime tires for these stints.
Yeah, I think they just found that's what the primes are built for.
Herrera, Sard, Telder all on pit road. As we have, what, am I seeing this? 18 cars on track right now still. In this race, you got what's about to be 16, I think, on the lead lap. Let's go back here to Nick Fleury as he tries to hold off his teammate, Danny Brennan. We'll keep an eye on that lead, by the way, but, you know, obviously we want to show some other racing, too, throughout, because as I've always tried to preach, I'm not one of those that just focuses on the top 5 the whole time. I'm an equal opportunity video shower. Oh, breaking news! Da, 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 da.
He is a very versatile driver. I met him through Super Late Models, and apparently he can drive any car. Part of the season, and best of luck.
So he definitely drives his car in a flurry.
You know, we've not seen at all of the season.
Oh, there.
Like
there's a there's an easy one that's sitting out there waiting on us right now that I'm holding off on. Yeah, if he wins the race, I could definitely throw it out there, but needless to say, I mean, the Blades of Flurry. It looks like Whimsy. Oh, yeah, Whimsy's gone off over here at second chicane. Almost put it in the barrier, but David has had a tough season so far. But credit to him. He continues to get out here and fight. There's only one more road course left after this evening, and that is Laguna Seca. Yeah, let's see 20 cars go through the corkscrew. Why don't we? But the difference is it already made the pass.
Right, but they're already going off. Somehow make that pass.
I've learned you cannot straight line that chicane. I've learned. I have tried it. The old what is it? The IndyCar game for PlayStation 1 back in like the early 2000s. I tried to chicane Laguna Seca straight. You can't do it. There's no angle. Hey, how about one of your guys here, Sam Blackwood, in the 6th position, the rookie. Only his second or third start in this series. Running up here P6, has gained 4 positions tonight.
Yeah,
it's kept her clean.
Like I said, he's not looking forward tonight, but man, he's going to be car underneath. Teammates helping him out. Wake up with a better frame of mind. He's an LMP1 driver, so he's used to light cars with heavy horsepower in the rear. And I think that once you get him into the action, the cobwebs will come off and start driving every day. So far, so good. Coming up to 25. Good on him.
And the one thing you just mentioned, and I think that is something that a lot of iRacers fall victim of, and I think it's something you could maybe talk a little bit more about, is when you get frustrated on a simulator like this. It's very easy to do. When you get out there on a road course, I mean, I could think of one particular track in the last couple of seasons named Alton Park that had a lot of us pretty angry, myself included, for a while, whosever idea that was put on that season's schedule in particular. It's very hard to just keep going and keep going and keep going, but it's kind of like gambling. But it's okay to walk away for a little bit, because sometimes that's just the right thing to do. Uh-oh. Is it true that the Hidden Peters parked over on the banking of the oval? If so, good luck getting out of here.
As long as there's no bolts of lightning.
Yes, yeah, we did that. Yes, don't do that. So, good luck, sir. Have fun. You too. Gary Godso there on his way to wherever he's got to go tonight. And I continued to try to work on his audio. Unfortunately, it's not sure what the deal is. Like, before the race, I had his audio actually pretty well. And then I don't know if it's just something on his end with the microphone or what. But I apologize for that. And hopefully you're able to hear him halfway as clear as I was. So, this evening. So if you're just joining us, we're 20 laps into this Apex Sage Coaching Grand Prix of Monza. And I see Philip Lee racking up the votes here tonight. As you've been watching this 3-car battle here for the lead. Isaac Morris, Daniel McDonald, and Lester all within about a second of each other. You got Philip Lee is trying to join this battle. He's all of just 3.5 back for the lead. what has been some fantastic racing so far. We've been watching the battle with teammates here with Fleury and Brennan. They're battling each other. You got Jeff Destino, one of the biggest movers on the night, started back in last. He is up to 14th right now. He's kept it clean, and he's right ahead of Isaac Lopez here, about 7/10 up. These guys get tight. Oh, a little blinking from Daniel right there in the first chicane. And for those who are wondering about the whole competition thing, why everybody's getting votes over there on the right of in my chat, that is because you can actually vote for a driver you're cheering on in this race, or anybody random out there. I mean, I have petitioned to everyone. We need to vote for Dylan Glass, who's watching the stream tonight, a soldier who's fighting for our country and fighting for our rights and everything out there on base, and is actually watching the stream tonight. He's an iRacer himself. I put my vote for him tonight, but others obviously voting. We've seen votes for Philip Lee, votes for Jessica Saban, vote for Chris Lewis for some weird reason. I think he's paying off people now. Jim Herrick's had some votes I've seen. I think I saw one vote for Ryan Seacrest. I don't know. I got this. Interesting. I'm going to say. Isaac, a little bit of a lockup there through the Parabolica. McDonald trying to put pressure on the leader. Now remember, let's go back to the first race, or not the first race of the season, race number 2, Mid-Ohio. Similar situation here. You had McDonald chasing Isaac Morris. Isaac made a mistake on the final lap and gave McDonald the win, and now we got some lap cars up ahead here. This is going to get very interesting. I would like to see that fact check, please. Fact check for Chris Lewis's quote right there, please. I'm going to go up here myself and fact check him. Going to need to call the state of Pennsylvania to recount. Five laps from the halfway point in this 56-lap race. Oh, Nick Fleury is spun over here in turn 1, the first chicane section. So finally that battle with him and his teammate Danny Brennan is going to cost him. And it's only going to cost him one spot, as Jim Herrick was way behind, about 18 seconds. There's Jimmy right there. So far back that Nick only lost one position in the end. There's Fleury in the 12th position. Let's go back up here to this fight for the lead. There's Isaac, and there's McDonald, who's blinking a little bit. Lester, of course, running in the 3rd position. And again, thanks to our drone cameras here that have been brought in by our Track Cam 4 Gourmet representatives. And thanks to them, you can check out trackcams22.com if you're a fan of the oval package or road course or rallycross or virtual reality, or even the fan cams that you see in some of our races. You can always go to trackcams22.com and show your support to them. They take donations and stuff, but you can go get their packages for the races and see all the cool cameras we have. The cameras you're seeing tonight are pretty much an F1 race, basically. So the cameras you're seeing were set up for the Formula 1 Grand Prix here in Italy, which obviously tonight with Indy cars. Five laps in the books as they come up on the lap car of Matt Telder there to 23. Telder takes it wide here. He's going to let the leaders go by. McDonald going by. See if Lester can get him before the corner here. Not able to. Lester down to 4 pushes to pass so far. And for those who have joined us and don't know what push to pass is, basically what that is a boost in horsepower for up to 20 seconds. You can use it like down this straightaway, and then once you either touch the brake pedal or I believe it's let off the gas a certain amount, or get into 20 seconds, it'll actually cut the horsepower down. As apparently Andres Perez is retired from the race. Chris Lewis has become my official apparently for the race also. He's sharing every little stat with me tonight. We've had some penalties in the race. I saw Fontaine had a hold on pit road after contact with a driver earlier in the race. A couple of speeding penalties also in this race, so it has not been the cleanest race from the standpoints, but otherwise been a fantastic battle up here in the front and in other positions with teammates. And I want to send a shout out. Let's look at Edu Vila here. We haven't said his name tonight, running in the 7th position. Edu has started right there in 7th, running P7. Milsa, I believe that's how that's pronounced, watching tonight. Appreciate that. Also, Glenn Endress. Gracilia Fuentes watching. I believe that's how that's pronounced. Emethias Mahara. Starting to wonder which one of these are real people and who are Chris Lewis fake accounts. Up in the front, McDonald putting pressure on Isaac. You see Philip Lee. Look at Lee's right back there with Saban. So this could easily become a 5-car battle for the win here when it's over with. This has been fantastic. 26 laps in, and we're still within 5 seconds from 1st to 5th. I'm sure these guys are saving fuel also. There's Lee and there's Saban. I mentioned these two are not really getting falling too far behind right now. Very smooth is Phillip on the throttle. Under the bridge, down the straightaway into the Parabolica. Oh, and around goes Philip Lee! I think contact with Saban. Oh my gosh! As Dan Mack is taking the lead, Philip Lee goes around. That car's broken. What happened here? Wow. Yeah, Saban gets in the back of him. One more time. Saban just deep into the corner. We'll see if there's a penalty there. As you see, Daniel McDonald has gone to the front. We can, with the benefits of instant replay, show you what just happened. And there's the pass from McDonald. So halfway this time by, and it is now Daniel McDonald, the teammate to Isaac, running in the lead, and now here comes Lester for second. He'll try to 2-for-1-er here. Look at this move. Oh, with blinking, and now Isaac's blinking. The blinking trilogy right up here in the front. Which would make sense, Milsa. It looks exactly like that maybe. Edu Vila, Carlos Dotero on pit road, the first of the pit stops up here to leaders. They pull out of pit road. Dotero still, or actually in his out lap is Danny Brennan's in, Nick Fleury's in. All these guys in for pit stops. And here comes Lester to pit road. Also Jessica Saban coming with her. Lester pulls away, pretty good stop on his end. 10.7, actually a little slower, I should say, as I look at the time. And Isaac has gone back past Daniel McDonald to the lead. Isaac and Daniel swapping the lead out with each other here. Let's see where it happens. Looks like turn one. Isaac makes the move to the inside. So Sam Blackwood up to third right now. AJ Stravato, Lester up to fifth now after his pit stop on lap number 29. As Jim Herrick on pit road. And here comes McDonald to pit road. So second place comes in, and so does Sam Blackwood right behind him. With 25 laps to go. I think these fans get a pretty interesting view of the race. Four tires and fuel, and they pull away. 10.2 for Daniel. Tim Miller coming in. That's Fontaine for the XSR team. Unfortunately, that team is not having a good night. Isaac staying out another lap here as he's trying to run probably some faster laps here. There, 133.30 for him. That's actually a 10th off his fastest lap of the race. So I think Isaac now doing Isaac Morris-like things. And it's going to try to get away from Daniel McDonald and Lester, which Lester did, by the way, get ahead of Daniel on the cycle pit stops. Jessica Saban is only roughly about 3 seconds back. And Chris, any penalty or anything been talked about for Jessica? I haven't seen anything or heard anything. That's why I figured I'd ask. He's out here in chat, so I figured I'd ask him. If you want to PM it to me, you can also do that. Just let me know. There's AJ Stravato, the 33 car. We talked to him a little bit ago. Let's actually take a lap around Monza here with Stravato. There we go. That's wrong camera. Let's do this one. Here we go. So there's the first chicane that you go into, a right, left, right complex. And as you know, right back up onto a straightaway here. A sweeping 90-degree right-hander right here. You're wide open the whole entire time. Come up on under a bridge, which is part of the oval right there. Or no, actually, it's not part of the oval. I'm sorry. But a left, right, left complex here. Another tricky section. And you come up on two 90-degree right-handed corners right here. Another straightaway. Down into the final chicane, which this one here is a little trickier. You're pretty much wide open from here out. And then down the straightaway you go, heading towards the Parabolica. So as I mentioned, this track, a lot of straightaways. Start-finish line right there. So there's a lap around Monza, about a minute and 33.6 for AJ Stravato that time by. Now Isaac came to pit road on that lap, and look at Lester. He has taken the lead. Isaac Morris had a 10.5 second pit stop. And Lester back to the front. There's your top three Christmas tree lights up in the front here. Jessica Saban's about 5.8 back in fourth, and then Blackwood in P5, Ido Vila 6th, AJ Stravato, Carlos Dotero, and Philip Lee now in ninth after the collision with Jessica Saban. And then look at Miller. How about Tim Miller running in the 10th position right now? Tim up 5 positions from the 15th position starting spot for him. Will Ashworth making an appearance in chat. Let's go back up here. You see Lester starting to stretch the lead out a little bit here. Lester on the prime tires. As a matter of fact, the whole entire field except for, 3 cars on track right now, all on the primary tires right now in this race, which has 23 laps to go and 1 more pit stop for everybody. As McDonald has gone by Isaac Morris for second. And I think Isaac let Daniel go there. So I saw him kind of pull over on the straightaway. Blackwood up here in the 4th position right now. Sam is only about 8 seconds back. And Sam is actually running faster laps than the leader is. Last time by, Sam a 1:33.84. Everybody else 34s and 35s for McDonald, Morrison, Jessica Saban. And something has happened to Lester. Disconnected. Lester's gone. Oh, no. The connection finally gave it up. And what was a fantastic run for Lester tonight's going to go for naught. So that's going to hand 3rd to Saban and now 4th to Blackwood, as these guys about 5 to 8 seconds back respectively from the 2 leaders. As we got a battle shaping up here for the 7th spot as Carlos Dotero has come up to battle Philip Lee. Vopsy. I'm going to vote for Saban, but she punted my teammates. I guess I'll vote for Lee. Oh, there you go. So you can see part of the old Monza Oval there in the background. That high banking. The track that you can actually race in iRacing. And if you ever do run some laps around it, I warn you in advance, it's bumpy as hell. And you'll understand why they don't run it in real life anymore. A lot of dangerous things out there. Philip Lee down to 2 push to passes as he tries to get away from Dortero, stretching out that lead a little bit. Check on Jim Herrick. You know, one guy that he hasn't run full time here this season. He's been focusing on life stuff. His wife has had some surgery lately, and I hope, by the way, you're doing okay, Mrs. Herrick. You're doing better. I hear you're driving now, which makes Jim the 2nd best driver in the family again. But glad you're doing well, and otherwise good to see Jim back here on the track. And we always have something we did previous seasons with Jim, and I got a minute here. Let's do it again. Hey, everybody say hi, Jim. Hi, Jim. Courtney Lee watching tonight. Wait a minute, is that the same Courtney Lee from Friends? Well, I mean, in fairness, Jim has the guts to come out here and run Indy cars, Chris. Oh, he's not. I think he just jumped a curve or something. That's a boy. Hey, you nailed that chicane. There's Isaac again, still chasing teammate Daniel McDonald. Saban up to 3rd. Philip Lee back here at 7th, about 5 seconds back from AJ Stravato. But still plenty of time to go in this race. 20 laps. on a 3.7 mile track, so you're looking at still over, what's that, 60 something miles left in this race still, so plenty of time to go. Straight away, another lap complete. Ooh, Isaac getting a little loose there on a turn one. Just stomped on the throttle a little bit too much. All's okay though. He's got still plenty of time here to attack after the leader. And again, next week, for this TI Racing IndyCar Series, it will be the Laguna Seca track before we finish up. Oh, I'm sorry, no, it isn't Laguna Seca. It's Pocono and then Laguna Seca, and then Michigan. We'll rerun the Michigan race at the end of the season from earlier this season, where there was a bunch of issues before a update was done on iRacing. So that'll be the next 3 weeks here for the TI IndyCar Series. Tomorrow night we'll have the Great Lakes Sim Racing race number 3 from USA Speedway, a short track in Lakeland, Florida. Track actually doesn't exist anymore, but they're going to be there. That'll be tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Eastern Time on Captain TV. Take a look at Philip Lee, who is running right now the fastest laps on the track. As I look over James Lee watching, yep, Philip's moving up pretty fast, yeah. He's doing a pretty good job. He's shown the last couple weeks he can drive on a road course, not to mention an oval too. He's got 31 seconds to catch McDonald, so that might be a little out of reach, but there's no question he could get up to Ito in 5th, and who knows, maybe even get to Blackwood. Probably that might be a little more of a tighter battle to make, but 17 seconds, why not? Set a goal and go get it. Ride with Philip. I know a lot of these cars are going to have to swap over to the alternate red tires here at the end of this stint. Drivers doing a really good job out here. Fun racing so far, great battles. A lot of fast speeds obviously on this track. There's Mrs. Sherry. .33.9 that time by for Philip Lee, and that is still the fastest lap on the track. So he is definitely, I mean, it's only a 10th, but you know what, a 10th will add up after a while. And we'll see what he's able to do here. We'll keep an eye on the comeback here potentially for Philip Lee. Back here on track, battle for 14th is Austin Sarr, who's had tons of issues in this race. Battling with he is battling with Isaac Lopez here for the 14th position. Made a race controls day at Indy. Huh. Yeah, I do want to wish you guys, by the way, the best this weekend in the race and stuff if you're going up there. That's something that I not had a chance to do in the last couple years, obviously not living up there anymore. So, but I do remember those couple years I got to go to Indianapolis for the race. It was definitely an experience, and one that I put right up there next to Daytona in a Cup race for the 500. That is a bucket listing that I've gotten a chance to do multiple times, and go watch an Indy 500 multiple times. So that's pretty cool there. Lopez holding off Saar for the 14th position. McDonald still at about a 4/10 of a second lead on Isaac. We're going to keep an eye on that also to make sure if Isaac makes a move or something for the lead, we'll watch that. Trying to get you all the battles we can find on the track. This one's starting to stretch out just a little bit now. Lee that time by a 33.5, and that was clearly the fastest lap on the track. So matter of fact, Phillips coming up on the battle we were just watching. There's your lead 2 right now with 16 to go. So who's going to be the first to pit? According to the laps, it should be Daniel because he's pitted first the last couple times. You see him coming up on the back of Jim Herrick there in that 40 car. Check on Edu Vila, who is the only car right now in the top 15 on these alternate red tires right now. I just realized that Edu Vila is even running a paint scheme with Chris Lewis's name on the top of the car. This is the kind of team owner Chris Lewis is. He puts his name on everybody's cars. Come on, Chris. So McDonald and Morris both saving some fuel. We'll know real quickly if that's the case by just listening to the car. Yeah, he's definitely saving. You can hear the let off the throttle there going into turn 1. Now Philip Lee's on pit road. Carlos Dotero coming to pit road. The final pit stops of the race. Lee 10.6 and he gets away. So Philip being the first to make his last pit stop. All right, had a quick moment there. Saban on pit road now. Saban is in. Nick Fleury is in. 13 laps to go. Ido Vila coming on pit road the final time. So all these cars from here on can go on to the finish. Here's Ido. There's Isaac Lopez on pit road. And they both pull away. So the question, when will the leaders come to pit road now? They have the fuel to get to the finish once they do choose to come in. Into the Parabolica again. We'll see if any of them make the bike to pit road this time by. They will carry on another lap, so 12 laps to go. As Jessica Saban about 38 seconds back here in the 4th position. She goes underneath the Monza oval. And how about Sam Blackwood? Sam getting held up a little bit by that lap car there, and I think that's a teammate of his. Now, Saban did come to pit road at lap number 43, and she is only, like I said, about 37 seconds back, so I think McDonald and Morris are going to have to push hard here now to keep an undercut from happening. But Saban looking pretty good right now to get herself a podium finish. I believe would be her 2nd of the season. Jim Herrick making a pit stop here, lap 44. And Fontaine also on pit road. Wow, Saban nailed that corner. What a great corner that was. And here comes Blackwood into pit road. Tires and fuel, Blackwood 8.9. Good stop for him. Tim Miller, AJ Stravato on pit road. So the question now, when do the leaders get here? As they should be able to short fill a little bit to help prevent the undercut. So good stop for all these drivers here. So through the Parabolica come the leaders, and here they come to pit road. Oh, Isaac with a fake! McDonald to pit road. So Isaac's going to probably try to run his fastest lap right here. Yep, there it is. The alternate tires going on. .9 stop for Daniel McDonald. Now we got to keep an eye on Isaac. As there's the 2 car with 10 laps to go. Oh, Jessica Saban's in trouble. Something has happened to the 28. Let's go back and see. For those wondering, Isaac is not pitted, but did just run a 32.9. Oh, McDonald comes out of pit road. Oh, and Herrick and Jessica make contact. Watch one more time here. It's a tricky situation. You got a car coming off pit road. And Jim and Jessica come together, unfortunately. So any worry for an undercut, that just went out the window. And Isaac again ran a 32.99. Let's see how fast he goes this time around. Isaac doing his Lewis Hamilton impersonations right here. 1:33.13 that time by. McDonald still about 33 seconds back, as this is his first stop or first lap on the new tires. A 33.08 for McDonald, so he actually was about a half a tenth faster than Morris was. Look here, Edu Vila starting to come up on the back bumper of Philip Lee for the 4th position. Saban did make it back to pit road. It is back out on track. I believe she had a reset still left over. And running in the 9th position now. She's not going to be too thrilled about that. And now Isaac to pit road with 8 laps to go. Tires and fuel as you see McDonald coming off of the final corner right now and up the straightaway. Morris is going to get him here. 7.5 second stop for Morris. And there's McDonald coming up the straightaway. And the fight begins right now. And Saban has gone off, and now she's high-sided. And a night has gone worse for the 28. Goes into the corner, and the back end just comes around, and she puts it right on top of, oh, and again, high sides it. So the top three right now, Isaac Morris, Daniel McDonald, and Sam Blackwood, all the way from the 10th position up to 3rd in this Apex Stage Coaching Grand Prix of Italy here in Monza. So we appreciate the viewers watching tonight. If you're new to the channel, hopefully you've hit the subscribe button. If you're not new to the channel, we appreciate you coming back, and hopefully you'll return for some more racing in the near future. There's definitely been some dramatic racing out here on the track tonight. Let's go up here to the lead. 1.5 seconds right now. Morris over McDonald. The same place he started, Mr. Perkins. The same place he started. And Isaac's starting to stretch it out, so I wonder if Daniel used up the tires early in that run. That's a lot of Isaac to stretch it out. Isaac purple lap that time, 1:31.49. Almost a qualifying lap right there for Morse. So unless some major mistake happens, much like the Mid-Ohio race in race number 2, then Isaac Morris is on his way to another victory tonight. And Philip Lee, great comeback for him up to the 4th position. Still got about 11 seconds or so if he wants to get to Sam Blackwood to try to get that podium position. Four laps to go for Monza. As for the 11th position, Austin Saar has come up here and caught Dan Barrera. Both of them on push to pass right now. Keep an eye on that, but how about Isaac? It's like he comes out of pit road with those alternate tires and just says sayonara to the field and leaves. That's exactly what he is doing right now. Go. Again next week. Oh, and one car spins right in front of the leader. That was Danny Brennan in a 25 car. That one probably scared Isaac a little bit. But next week, as I mentioned, we'll go to the Pocono Raceway for the second of the Triple Crown events. And hopefully you'll join us at 8:45 next week, or 7:45, sorry. We're ready for the 250-mile race at the Poconos, which last season was very dramatic in the end. I can only imagine how that race could go this season. Two laps to go. McDonald back to 4.1 seconds back now, so another one of those what-if nights for Daniel. If he could just put it together here, he'll get a second-place finish and a good points night as he's trying to catch Philip Lee here, who jumped up to second in points last week after that great finish at the Brickyard. Now Philip does have it down to 8 seconds right now to get to Blackwood for third. He can find a way to gain 4 seconds this lap, and next he can get to the podium. Or if Blackwood makes a mistake. Isaac coming through the Parabolica. And he will see the white flag. Final lap will come out here in Monza as the coach is on his way to another victory. And the old Isaac Weave has already started. The tradition of his. The Welsh Weave, apparently it's called. Into the second chicane. through the final set of chicanes, and a parabolica left for Isaac to come to victory lane. And there he goes through the parabolica, and he's going to come off the corner and see the 5th victory of his season as he continues to march for his first TI Racing Championship. It is Isaac Morris destroying his car as he crosses the start-finish line and winning in Monza. I think he net-coated the wall over there or something. Daniel McDonald going to get second, and here comes Sam Blackwood. And he's going to be happy about that third place finish. Philip Lee's going to come back and get fourth. Nice job for him. And how about this guy, top 5, Ido Vila. And great job, Del Toro. Carlos Del Toro. A great 6th place finish for him tonight. Tim Miller, great job finishing 7th. Stravato going to come by the line and get 8th. And then I think Nick Fleurier's already crossed the line. So fantastic race for a lot of these guys. Great comebacks, great story lines of basically these drivers coming back from incidents. Philip Lee, great job on his part. Dotero, great job on his part. So many great efforts, but Isaac Morris unfortunately showing that he is the guy that he said, you're going to have to pry this trophy from my hands this season. So we take a look at the finishing order. Morris wins it by 5 seconds over Daniel McDonald. Sam Blackwood, Philip Lee, Ido Vila top 5. Carlos Dotero 6th, 7th Tim Miller. AJ Stravato 8th. Nick Fleury and Dan Marrera going to get to top 10. Austin Sarr 11th. Isaac Lopez 12th. Jim Herrick 13th. Luke Daniels 14th. Jeff Destino 15th. Danny Brandon 16th. Matt Telder 17th. Lester going to get 18th. Unfortunately blinking out. Was another guy up there giving Isaac a run for his money. Fontaine 18th. Make that 19th. David Whimsey 20th. 21st, Jessica Sabin, unfortunately, after her unfortunate deal with the contact with Philip Lee, and then what happened there with Jim Herrick at the end. Unfortunate for Jessica, finishing 21st. Andres Perez, 22nd. Grabowski, 23rd, 24th, and, well, he didn't run a lap. Chris Lewis in the race, so. You're looking over the front straightaway here. And Monza and Isaac is stopping right here at the start-finish line. Not sure if he's going to take a photo or do something here. Ah, there he goes. I think he was setting up his gearing or something there, his braking to get the burnouts going. Well, on his way to a championship this season is Isaac Morris. And let's get him up here as he will join us up here on the podium. A very interesting podium they have up here on like a bridge here on the front straightaway is where they do their celebrations, of course, here in Monza as they try to get it out there in front of the crowd each and every race here, like the Formula One Grand Prix, of course, and so on and so forth. Isaac once again, another great performance out of you tonight and the whole team, you and Daniel, and even Lester, who's not technically a part of the team, but put on a great show this evening. And in the end, though, it was pit strategy and you putting on pretty good lap times there at the end of this race to go get win number 5 and pretty much put the stamp on the championship.
Yeah, it was a really good race. Sure as hell was a long one again. Yeah. I personally think like Leicester wasn't really like trying to like really be a part of the the fuel saving train or whatever. But I mean they played a great help, especially like going into like turn 3 on lap 1. I was like, is he gonna push? Like he's on the faster tires and everything. So I was like, take advantage of this fuel save. And I think I managed to take the first tank 17 laps. Which like helped me big time. It just cut like a lot of time out of the final pit stop. But yeah, all in all, like great team performance. All 4 drivers in the top 10. Me and Dan worked really well together. So yeah, it was a really good round for TI.
Yeah, it was a great performance, obviously, tonight. Talk about the strategy there, because obviously I know you guys are working as a team, but you got to do what you got to do to take care of yourself, too. What was the strategy behind that final pit stop for you?
I think it was like more of a case of like whoever came out first were like we might be able to battle a little bit, but like if whoever came out first, which was me, and had like the fresher tires as well, so I was able to push a lot sooner, and I was able to put in a really good lap as well. I think it was a 31.4, the fastest lap of the race or something, which like put like a big gap between me and Dan. I think it's like a 1.2 second gap at the time, and then yeah, it was a really weird strategy because like it was just all about fuel saving and just making sure that the car got to the end. So yeah, it was a great strategy again, similar to Road America, but not as extensive.
Well, great job tonight, Isaac. Congratulations on your 5th win, I believe it is, of the season tonight. You've won all but one road course race so far this season, and you just continue that stretch so far this season that is going to extend your lead even further out after tonight. And shout out to whoever you like to.
So I'd like to give a big shout out to our main title sponsor, which is General Motors. They're probably getting sick of hearing the name now every week. But yeah, big shout out to those guys. Got some big plans in the future, hopefully. And also a big shout out to the boys over at Globalist on Ice. They've been helping us out, and we really appreciate it. And shout out to whoever was in the chat, said that they were related to me. I'm looking at the chat now and I can't see anyone.
I don't remember anything saying that. I don't remember seeing that.
But Chris said something about his.
I wouldn't believe half of what he says.
So yeah, I was just like, cool. I thought it was my brother at first, but I'm pretty sure he's asleep right now. That's it for tonight.
Well, great. Yeah, sounds like a good idea. Nice job, Isaac. Congratulations on your win.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Isaac Morris on the win. Let's get his teammate, Daniel McDonald, who finishes in the 2nd position in this race. And let me get over here to the right Discord chat part where I can move people around. I actually was over at another part. But Daniel McDonald finishes in the 2nd position tonight. Daniel, anything different that you think you might have done to even compete with Isaac there in that last stage?
Definitely not conserve the reds as much as I did at the end. I took the first few laps to just get used to them. I should have just gone all out because I came out behind him. So I was a bit frustrated, and then I knew since then I was on older tires, he was on new tires. He was just going to pull away. But I'm happy with P2. Just unfortunate because I think I could have won that if the things played into my cards.
We'll talk about the racing in general because you and Isaac and Lester, you guys were putting on a show up there in the front. And at one point, it was a wonder if it could become a 5 or 6 car show up there at the front.
Yeah, we had from the get-go we had this plan to just fuel save, and since Lester got pole on the reds, he was a bit slower towards the end of the stint, which left Isaac behind. Carlos got in front of me, I think, which left a big gap. But once I closed that, there were a few cars behind me, but I was quite happy with a 3-car breakaway with Lester in front. It meant I could just fuel save along with Isaac, but Isaac was better at it than me, which is a bit frustrating. He managed to get a few crucial more laps in before the last stint.
Well, great job tonight, Daniel. Congratulations on your P2 and another 1-2 finish for the TI Racing team. Send shots whoever you like to, bud.
Shout out General Motors and GOI, proud sponsors of TI Racing, and want to thank Chris Lewis again for having me on this team, because it's been great fun. Although some things haven't gone my way or the way I wanted it to, it's been great fun so far, but I'm just happy with another good result. I'm back into P2 in the standings as well, so I can't complain.
Well, great job tonight, and congratulations, Daniel.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Daniel McDonald finishing in the second position tonight, and let's go down here and see if we can find the third place finisher. I do not see him in here, actually. Are you seeing him, Chris, at all?
Nope. He is not in here.
Not in here, but either way, nice job there to shout out to Sam Blackwood from 10th to 3rd and getting his first podium in the series. So nice job there to Sam. So, but, well, that's going to do it, I think, here for Italy this evening. Appreciate Chris for helping us out tonight with all the stats and stuff over here in chat. Great job on that. And obviously always helping us out there in the stream and getting me everything I need for the broadcast and stuff. So hopefully you guys enjoyed your Tuesday evening. From there, again, next week we go to Pocono Raceway for a different kind of road course, one with 3 left-handers, and that's it. So should be a fun race from the Pocono Raceway up in the honeymoon capital of the world in the mountains of Pennsylvania. So going to be a lot of fun. Stop over in Hershey, get some chocolate, and come over to Pocono Raceway. So should be a lot of fun. And big shout out to TI Racing on their big win tonight. Of course, Isaac Morris putting that stamp on the championship pretty much. I believe if he hasn't done it already, by next week he will officially be able to clinch the championship and be the champion for season number 5. But we'll get all the numbers put together, and I'll get you a definite answer come next Tuesday night. Shout out to iRacing for allowing us to broadcast on the platform. Again, thanks to the Track Cams for Gourmet people for allowing me to use the cameras that they produce for us to allow you to see cool shots like this of the village of Monza right there, and of course the track over in the Parabolica in that area. You see a little bit of the oval that goes out outside the track there. So big shout out to Track Cams for Gourmets for the cool cameras. All the viewers tonight that threw the shout outs out to drivers and those kind of people, appreciate all of that. That was fun to watch. And again, shout out to all the drivers for putting on a good show. And thank you again, Chris Lewis, for allowing me to be a part of the broadcast as always. And thanks to Gary Godso, who is, I think, back where he's supposed to be. But we'll continue to try to get his audio issue fixed for the future broadcasts and stuff. So with that said, we're going to put Lewis's favorite song on so he can go dance a little bit. But remember, this isn't just a game. It's iRacing. See ya!
Let go of fear, you're holding the fire smoldering, it's starting all over again. I got a feeling that strong.